Have you ever found yourself weighed down by past hurts, regrets, or the pressure to maintain superficial connections as you grow older? It's easy to feel like you're carrying the weight of a lifetime, old wounds, unfulfilled expectations, and relationships that no longer serve you. But what if I told you that letting go of these burdens could be the key to finding true happiness in your golden years? In this video, we'll explore 5 crucial things to let go of immediately for a happier, more peaceful life as you age. By watching until the end, you'll uncover practical ways to lighten your heart, free yourself from the past, and embrace the joy of living fully in the present. Whether it's releasing resentment, past sorrows, or even unnecessary pride, these steps will help you find the freedom and happiness you deserve. So, stick around to the end. You don't want to miss the powerful tools you can start using today to live a lighter, more fulfilling life. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Let go of resentment. Resentment is a silent thief, one that sneaks into our hearts and quietly robs us of our peace, joy, and well-being. It begins as a small seed, often planted by memories of betrayal, hurtful words, or actions that we feel were unjust. These moments, if left unchecked, grow deep roots in our hearts, fueled by the pain of the past. Over time, this resentment can become so ingrained that it takes on a life of its own, weighing us down like an anchor, suffocating our ability to live fully and love freely. While the act of holding on to resentment may feel oddly familiar, almost like we are protecting a wound, it is, in reality, keeping us locked in a cycle of pain. The thought of letting go may seem daunting because it feels as though we would be letting the person who wronged us off the hook. But in truth, holding on to resentment does nothing to punish the one who caused us harm, it only punishes us. Holding on to resentment is like clutching a piece of burning coal, thinking you can throw it at the person who hurt you, but in reality, it only burns your hand. The anger and bitterness that comes from unresolved hurt seep into every part of your life. They invade your thoughts when you least expect them, popping up in conversations, moments of stillness, or even when you try to focus on something else. This unchecked bitterness can also manifest physically: stress, tension, headaches, and even heart disease. Science has shown that harboring resentment can have long-term detrimental effects on our mental and physical health, contributing to anxiety, high blood pressure, and even chronic illnesses. But beyond the physical toll, resentment steals something far more valuable: our emotional freedom. Forgiveness, however, is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean excusing the actions of those who wronged us, nor does it mean pretending that the hurt never happened. It doesn't require us to invite the person back into our lives or forget what they did. Forgiveness is not about them, it's about us. It's a gift we give ourselves. It is the moment when we declare that the pain someone else inflicted will no longer control us or define our lives. Forgiveness is choosing to release the grip of anger and bitterness, allowing us to make room for peace, love, and emotional healing. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to truly let go of that burden. Think about the person or situation that still lingers in your thoughts. The friend who betrayed you, the family member who said hurtful things, or even a past version of yourself who made decisions you now regret. Picture setting that weight down, watching it fade into the distance as you let it go. How would that feel? How much lighter would you be, physically and emotionally? How much more free? Letting go of resentment is not a process that happens instantly. It's not a one-time event, but rather a journey that unfolds gradually. It begins with acknowledging the pain. It's important to say to yourself, yes, this happened. It hurt deeply, and it matters. Allow yourself the space to grieve, to feel angry, to process the emotions tied to that hurt. Don't deny yourself the opportunity to heal. But then, once you've allowed yourself to feel, remind yourself that you don't have to live in that pain anymore. While the hurt may be a part of your story, it doesn't need to dictate the rest of your life. It may have shaped who you are, but it doesn't have to determine who you become. Forgiveness is an ongoing practice, not a single moment of decision. Some days, it will feel easy to forgive. On those days, the weight of resentment may feel light, and the peace will flow freely. On other days, you may wake up and feel the sting of old wounds. But that's okay. Healing takes time. The key is to notice those moments of relief, no matter how small, and celebrate them. They are signs that you are healing, that you are letting go. And with time, the pain will lessen. Letting go of resentment also involves changing the story you tell yourself about the past. Instead of focusing on the hurt, ask yourself, what have I learned from this experience? How has it shaped me into the person I am today? Sometimes, our deepest wounds carry within them the seeds of our greatest growth. It's in those moments of difficulty that we often discover our inner strength and resilience. Resentment loses its power when we can look at our painful experiences, not just as scars, but as markers of our survival, our wisdom, and our transformation. To truly let go of resentment is to reclaim your power. It is standing tall and saying, I will no longer allow this pain to control my life. It's a bold declaration of self-love and a decision to embrace a future filled with peace, joy, and freedom. The people who hurt you don't deserve to occupy any more space in your heart or mind. They don't deserve to steal your happiness. Letting go isn't about them. It's about your emotional well-being, your peace, and your ability to live fully in the present moment. Imagine a life unburdened by the weight of anger. Picture yourself smiling freely, laughing wholeheartedly, and walking through life with a lighter, more peaceful heart. Resentment may have walked alongside you for years, but it doesn't have to stay. Today is the day you can begin loosening its grip. It may be one breath at a time, one forgiving thought at a time, one intentional release at a time, but it's a step toward reclaiming your life and your happiness. You've carried this weight long enough. It's time to set it down. For your health, for your joy, for your future. Let it go. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 2. Let go of past sorrows. The past is a place we often find ourselves revisiting, a landscape rich with both bright memories of laughter and joy, and darker shadows of sorrow, pain, and loss. For many, the hardest part of growing older isn't the number of years that have passed, but the weight of the memories that linger. These memories are often not just recollections, but a collection of emotions, regrets, and longings that shape our current state of being. The past can feel heavy, filled with moments of sorrow, missed opportunities, relationships that have fractured over time, or the profound ache that comes with the absence of loved ones who are no longer with us. At times, these emotions can feel overwhelming, as though they hold us captive in a place that no longer serves us. Yet, clinging to the past means denying ourselves the beauty of the present and the boundless potential of the future. Letting go of past sorrows does not mean erasing them or pretending they never existed. It's not about forgetting the pain or pretending that the scars don't exist. It's about recognizing that life is a vast, intricate mosaic of experiences, moments of joy and moments of pain, and making a conscious choice to focus on the aspects of life that bring light to your heart. While our sorrows help shape who we are, they don't have the power to diminish the new joys that still await us. Life isn't about forgetting the past, but learning how to carry its memories with grace, without letting them weigh down our spirit. We must honor the past, but we must not allow it to dictate the present. Reflect for a moment on the sorrows that haunt your heart. Perhaps there is a lingering regret, something unsaid that now feels like a missed opportunity, a decision that turned out differently than you hoped, or the loss of someone you held dear. These sorrows are the threads that weave through the fabric of your life, but they are not the whole tapestry. They are chapters in the story, not the final page. Grieving is a natural and essential part of life's journey. It allows us to honor what we've lost and learn from it. However, staying tethered to sorrow prevents us from experiencing the fullness of life that is still available to us. By letting go of the weight of past grief, we open ourselves to a future filled with possibility and new joys. Think of your heart like a garden after a storm. After the storm has passed, the garden may seem ravaged. Branches are broken, flowers trampled, and the soil scattered. Yet, if given the proper care, time, and attention, new life will emerge. This process mirrors what happens within us. The storms of life may have left their marks, but they do not have to define the landscape of our lives. Just as flowers bloom again after the storm, so too can new joys bloom within your heart if you give them the space to grow. The journey of letting go begins with acceptance. Accept that the past is beyond your control, that the pain of what was cannot be undone. But also accept that this sorrow is a part of your humanity, a testament to the depth of love you've experienced and the richness of a life well lived. It is a sign that you have lived fully, felt deeply, and loved passionately. Yet, equally, you must accept that you possess the strength to move forward. You have the power to carry the lessons these past sorrows have taught you while letting go of the heavy burden of their pain. To fully embrace life, you must let go of what no longer serves you. One of the most powerful tools in the process of healing is focusing on the present. Today is a fresh opportunity, a chance to inhale the crisp morning air, the warmth of sunlight on your face, or hear the laughter of those around you. These simple moments are treasures that we can easily overlook when our hearts are clouded by sorrow. But by choosing to focus on the present, you allow yourself to find healing in the small, quiet joys that come with each passing day. Letting go of grief opens your heart to the beauty of now. Reframing your past also carries immense power. Instead of seeing your history solely as a collection of wounds and losses, try to view it through the lens of resilience. You have endured hardships, navigated the stormy seas of loss and heartache, and yet you stand here, stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Each sorrow you have experienced has fortified your soul, deepened your understanding, and broadened your capacity for empathy. Letting go is not an act of dismissing your pain, but an acknowledgement that your story is much more than its darkest chapters. It's a story of survival, growth, and the power to continue moving forward. The most difficult part of this process is often the fear that, in letting go, you may lose the connection to what you've lost. Letting go of sorrow does not mean letting go of love. Love is not bound by time or place. It is eternal. The love you carry for those you have lost remains with you, always. It is a quiet strength, woven into the very fabric of your being, an unseen thread that connects you to those you have loved. By choosing to focus on the love you have experienced, rather than the loss itself, you honor the essence of those relationships. You celebrate the love that continues to shape who you are, even as the sorrow fades. Letting go of past sorrows is not a betrayal of your memories. It is, in fact, an act of courage. It is telling yourself that while the past will always live within you, you deserve to live fully in the present. You are not defined by what you have lost, but by how you choose to embrace the opportunities that remain. As you breathe in the present moment, let the past rest gently in its rightful place. It has had enough of your tears, your time, and your energy. Now, it's time to turn your face toward the sunlight of today. Let the sorrows of yesterday drift into the background where they belong, and let the beauty of this moment take center stage. Life is unfolding right before you, rich with potential and moments waiting to be discovered. Step forward, embrace it, and let go of what no longer serves you. The journey ahead is waiting, filled with new experiences, new joys, and a deeper connection to the love that has always been a part of you. 3. Let go of meaningless relationships. As we journey through life, we inevitably encounter moments of clarity where the truth about what truly matters and who truly matters becomes evident. When we are young, the world feels vast, and we often find ourselves surrounded by a multitude of people. Friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and even fleeting companions who come in and out of our lives. During these early years, it's easy to assume that the more people we know, the richer our lives must be. We may believe that quantity equates to quality, and the more relationships we have, the better our chances of happiness. But as time marches on and we grow older, we begin to understand a profound truth. It is not the sheer number of relationships that brings us joy and fulfillment, but rather the quality and depth of the connections we hold dear. As we accumulate experiences and wisdom over the years, we often come to realize that not all relationships are meant to last forever. Some people enter our lives for a season, teaching us valuable lessons, while others may serve a different purpose, only to fade away once their role has been fulfilled. This process of growth is natural, and it's okay to let go of relationships that no longer serve a positive purpose in our lives. Time has a remarkable ability to reveal who truly contributes to our happiness and well-being, and who merely drains us of energy. By the time we reach our later years, we face an important question. Do we continue carrying relationships that weigh us down and contribute little to our lives, or do we have the courage to release those ties and focus on the people who truly nurture and uplift us? Letting go of meaningless relationships is not an act of bitterness, resentment, or judgment. Rather, it is a powerful expression of self-respect and self-care. It is an acknowledgement that your time and emotional energy are precious resources that deserve to be invested in people who value you, who see your worth, and who reciprocate the love, care, and attention you offer them. You don't have to hold on to every person you've ever known simply because they've been part of your life for a long time. Just because a relationship has endured for years doesn't necessarily mean it is still healthy, meaningful, or mutually fulfilling. Longevity in a connection does not automatically guarantee loyalty, love, or trust. Some relationships simply run their course, and there is a grace in recognizing when it's time to move on. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Reflect on the people in your life and ask yourself, are there those who genuinely uplift you, who make you feel seen and appreciated, who remind you of your inherent worth and beauty? These are the relationships you should treasure and nourish. They are the ones that add value to your life, filling your heart with warmth, joy, and connection. On the other hand, are there those who seem to drain you, who bring negativity or uncertainty, or who leave you feeling unseen, unheard, or unimportant? These are the relationships that may need to be reevaluated. Letting go of them does not mean ending things with hostility or malice. Rather, it means stepping back, prioritizing your well-being, and creating space for more positive, fulfilling connections. By letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, you open up space for deeper, more meaningful bonds. Sometimes, holding on to what is familiar and comfortable can prevent us from discovering what truly fulfills our hearts. Imagine the possibilities that could emerge once you release the ties that weigh you down. New friendships, revitalized connections with loved ones, or even a deepened relationship with yourself. In the absence of superficial or draining connections, your heart and mind become open to new experiences and people who are truly aligned with your values and aspirations. The act of letting go can be a difficult and emotional process. You may fear causing hurt or disappointment, or perhaps you feel guilt for distancing yourself from someone who has been in your life for a long time. But it's important to remember that caring for yourself is not selfish. It is essential for your well-being. The people who truly care about you will understand your decision, and those who don't may have had your best interests at heart to begin with. Remember, real love and respect are reciprocal, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate and honor your presence in their lives. Meaningful relationships don't always need to be numerous or flashy. They simply need to be genuine. A single friend who truly listens and shares your joys and sorrows, a child or grandchild who fills your heart with laughter, or a neighbor who stops by just to check in. These are the relationships that enrich your life and bring you true happiness. It's not about grand gestures or constant attention. It's about the quiet, reassuring moments when you feel seen, heard, cared for, and loved. These are the relationships that matter. As you reflect on the connections in your life, ask yourself this question. Life is too short to spend time with people who don't recognize your value. Choose to surround yourself with those who celebrate you for who you are, who bring out the best in you, and who brighten your days with their kindness and love. And in turn, strive to be that person for others. Someone who brings joy, positivity, and genuine care into their lives. Meaningful relationships are not one-sided. They are built on a foundation of trust, kindness, mutual respect, and understanding. Letting go of meaningless relationships is not a loss, but a profound gain. It's a gain of freedom, from negativity, from obligations that no longer serve you, and from the emotional weight of carrying connections that no longer bring you joy. It's a gain of space for new love, new laughter, and companionship that truly makes life worth living. You deserve to spend your years surrounded by people who truly matter. Those who lift you, support you, and help you become the best version of yourself. Choose wisely, with an open heart and a clear mind, and let go of what doesn't serve you. Hold tightly to what does, and in doing so, you will find yourself living not just with contentment, but with a deep and lasting sense of peace and fulfillment. 4. Let go of empty pride and titles. As the years go by and the roles we once held begin to fade, many of us find ourselves holding on to the titles, positions, and accolades that once defined us. These symbols of achievement, our job titles, awards, or social standing, may have given us a sense of pride and identity in the past. They represented not just our accomplishments, but also our sacrifices, struggles, and the significant places we occupied in the world. We wore these badges as markers of success and recognition, thinking they captured the essence of who we were. Yet, as life inevitably moves forward, we may find that clinging to these symbols becomes less about honoring the past and more about hindering our ability to embrace the present moment. What once brought us pride may now feel like a burden, obscuring the deeper, truer essence of who we are. Letting go of empty pride and titles does not mean diminishing the importance of the past or disregarding the milestones we have reached. Instead, It means acknowledging that our worth is not tied to who we once were but is rooted in who we are today. The truth is that titles are temporary. They may have afforded us status and respect in a certain chapter of our lives, but they no longer define us in the here and now. What truly defines us in this moment is the legacy we create through our actions, our kindness, our authenticity, and the way we show up for others. Reflect on the weight that pride can carry when it is tethered to outdated roles or comparisons. Imagine a retired CEO who still introduces themselves by their former title. While there may be a sense of accomplishment and pride in their past, it's also possible that they find themselves disconnected from the present. Holding on to past titles can create a divide between who you were and who you have the potential to become. It can trap you in a world that no longer exists, leaving you longing for validation in a way that feels unfulfilling and empty. There is a profound freedom in releasing these old labels. Letting go of the need to identify by a title allows you to embrace the simplicity and beauty of the present moment. You no longer need to be defined as a former anything. You are simply you, the sum of your wisdom, experiences, and authenticity. Stripped of titles and external expectations, you are free to be your truest self. In this moment, you are allowed to shine without the weight of past roles or labels holding you back. Letting go of pride doesn't equate to losing your dignity or self-respect. On the contrary, it's about releasing the need for external validation and proving your worth to others. You are not the sum of your achievements, nor are you defined by the roles you've played. You are the joy you bring to those around you, the love you give freely to family and friends, and the wisdom you pass down to the next generation. These intangible gifts far exceed any title or accolade that might have once been attached to your name. When we release our pride, we also open the door for deeper, more meaningful connections with others. Pride that is based on titles and status can often erect walls between us and those we love. It can prevent us from showing vulnerability, asking for help, or admitting when we are wrong. By letting go of these facades, we invite true authenticity into our relationships. We become more approachable, more relatable, and ultimately, more fulfilled in our connections with others. It's also essential to recognize that releasing these titles doesn't diminish the value of what you've accomplished. Your contributions to the world, whether in your career, your community, or your family, remain significant and lasting. They won't vanish when you stop identifying with them. They live on through the lives you've touched and the positive impact you've made, which will continue to ripple out far beyond what can be named or measured. Now, think about the story you wish to tell about your life at this stage. Do you want it to be a list of titles and achievements, or do you want it to reflect the richness of your character, the depth of your love, and the enduring legacy you've built through the way you've treated others? Often, the most profound accomplishments are the quietest and least tangible. They are the moments of kindness you shared with a friend, the lessons you taught a child, or the comfort you offered someone in need. Letting go of empty pride is not a loss. It is an act of courage, self-awareness, and liberation. It allows you to step confidently into this new chapter of life, unburdened by the weight of past titles, and fully open to the opportunities the present has to offer. It is the recognition that your worth is not measured by a title but by the person you've become through all of life's trials, triumphs, and transformations. As you release the need to define yourself by what you've done, you will discover that who you are is more than enough. There is no need for pretension or posturing in this stage of life. Embrace the freedom that comes with being simply and authentically you. The beauty of your life is already unfolding in your relationships, in your kindness, in your wisdom, and in your ability to make others feel seen, valued, and loved. You've earned the peace that comes with embracing your true self, without the need for titles or external validation. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts of healing, yet it remains one of the most challenging, especially when it comes to forgiving ourselves. Throughout our lives, we experience not only moments of joy and triumph, but also the weight of mistakes, regrets, and relationships that fall short of our hopes and expectations. These emotional wounds, if left unhealed, can fester within us, anchoring us to past pain and robbing us of the peace and freedom we deserve. Left unchecked, they can prevent us from fully embracing the present and the future, keeping us trapped in a cycle of hurt. One of the most crucial yet often neglected aspects of self-care is learning to forgive ourselves. We often hold ourselves to unattainable standards, relentlessly replaying the moments when we feel we fell short. whether it was not acting when we should have, saying the wrong words, or not living up to the expectations set by ourselves or others. Over time, this tendency to blame ourselves can give rise to an inner critic, a voice of harsh judgment that drowns out the gentle whispers of self-compassion. But here's the truth. You are human. To be human means to be imperfect. Perfection was never the goal. Growth, learning, and love were. You are not meant to be flawless. You are meant to grow and evolve through your experiences, and that includes your mistakes. To forgive yourself is to acknowledge and embrace your humanity. It's a gentle, loving acknowledgement that, given what you knew at the time, you did the best you could. It's about honoring your journey and understanding that every misstep, every failure, was part of the process that shaped you into who you are today. Picture yourself as a child learning to walk, stumbling, and falling repeatedly. Would you scold that child for each fall, or would you offer encouragement, knowing that every fall was one step closer to success? Now, turn that same compassion toward yourself. Speak to yourself with kindness and patience, reminding yourself that you were always trying, even when things didn't go as planned. You cannot rewrite the past, but you can choose to view it with compassion instead of regret. Forgiving others can be equally transformative, though it may feel just as difficult. We all carry wounds from being hurt by others, whether it's a friend who betrayed us, a loved one who let us down, or a stranger whose actions left a lasting scar. These wounds often linger, not because they remain fresh, but because we continually revisit them, clinging to the pain as if holding on to it will somehow make things right. But in reality, holding on to anger or resentment is like tying yourself to an anchor and expecting the other person to feel its weight. The only person who suffers is you. Forgiving others doesn't mean excusing their actions or pretending the harm they caused didn't happen. It means choosing to release the hold their actions have on your peace of mind. It's a conscious decision to let go of the anger and resentment that bind you to them so that you can move forward, unburdened. Forgiveness is not about granting a favor to the person who hurt you. It is about offering a gift to yourself. It is a declaration that you will no longer allow the past to dictate your present, and that you choose to reclaim your peace and emotional freedom. The process of forgiveness, especially when the pain feels raw and fresh, is not always easy. There will be moments when the old wounds resurface, when the memories hurt as much as the day they first occurred. In these moments, remind yourself that forgiveness is not a destination, but a journey. It's something you must return to time and time again, each time loosening the grip of hurt just a little bit more. Over time, the pain will feel lighter, the anger less intense, and the peace within you will grow stronger. Forgiveness also calls for a shift in perspective. When reflecting on those who have wronged you, it can be helpful to consider their humanity as well. Were they acting out of their own fear or ignorance? While this doesn't excuse their behavior, it can help you understand that they, too, are imperfect and vulnerable. Understanding the reasons behind someone's actions can make it easier to release the hold those actions have on your heart. In forgiving them, you are not condoning their actions, but rather choosing to stop carrying the burden of that pain. You are freeing yourself from the chains they have unknowingly placed on you. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of profound freedom. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional prisons of guilt, anger, and resentment that can keep you shackled to the past. It's about reclaiming your power, choosing peace over pain, and stepping into the fullness of your life without being weighed down by past wounds. Whether you are forgiving yourself for past mistakes, or choosing to release someone who has hurt you, each act of forgiveness is a step toward a lighter, more liberated life. As you continue on your journey, remember that forgiveness doesn't change what has happened in the past. What it does is transform the future. It clears the way for joy, deeper connections, and a sense of wholeness that cannot coexist with bitterness or resentment. You've carried these burdens long enough. Now is the time to set them down. Forgive yourself for the times when you didn't know better. Forgive others for their imperfections, just as you hope to be forgiven for yours. In doing so, you step into a life that is not defined by the wounds of the past, but by the potential for joy and peace that still exists. Forgiveness isn't just a one-time act. It's a continual gift that you give to yourself over and over again, each time lightening your load and creating space for love, healing, and personal growth. Conclusion: embracing the freedom to live fully. Life offers us an extraordinary gift, the opportunity to focus on what truly matters. It's a time to shed the burdens we've carried, to release the pain of the past, and to embrace the simplicity and beauty of the present moment. Letting go is not about losing. It's about gaining clarity, peace, and the freedom to live authentically. Each act of letting go is a step closer to the joy and contentment you deserve. When you release resentment, you reclaim your peace. When you let go of past sorrows, you make room for gratitude. When you walk away from meaningless relationships, you strengthen the bonds that truly nourish your soul. When you release empty pride, you find humility and grace. And when you forgive yourself and others, you open your heart to the profound freedom that only love and compassion can bring. These years, though they may feel like the autumn of life, are filled with the rich harvest of wisdom, resilience, and perspective. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create space for what does. Deeper connections, quieter joys, and a peace that transcends the noise of the world. The act of releasing burdens allows you to focus on what truly fills your life with meaning. Letting go does not mean the end of something, but the beginning of something new, something deeper. It's a moment of transformation where you shed the weight of what no longer contributes to your peace and allow space for the things that truly matter. Imagine a life where your heart feels light, your mind is unburdened, and your spirit is free to roam wherever it pleases. Picture waking up each day without the weight of regret or fear holding you back. That life is possible, but it begins with the courage to let go. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Every breath you take is a reminder that the present is a gift waiting to be unwrapped. Open it. Cherish it. In this world that often pulls us in many directions, it can be easy to forget that the most important thing we can do is live in the present. Too often, we focus on what is behind us, on the things we've lost or left behind. But the present moment is all we truly have. By letting go of the past, we free ourselves to be fully alive in the now. In the end, what matters most is not what you've held onto, but what you've released to make room for love, joy, and peace. It is not the burdens you carry, but the freedom you create when you let go of them. This chapter of your life is yours to write, unburdened by the past and filled with the promise of what's still to come. You have the power to step forward lighter and freer than ever before, into a life that is not just lived, but truly embraced. Let go of the things that weigh you down. Let go of the guilt, the fear, the anger, and the regret. Let go of what others think and what society expects. Let go of the idea that your past defines you. Let go, and let yourself fully live. Open your heart to the possibility that this moment, this breath, this life, is all you need to find true happiness. As we reflect on all the insights shared today, take a moment to think about what you've learned so far. How can these lessons inspire you in your own life? What is one thing you've discovered that you will practice moving forward? I would love to hear from you. Share it in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Your engagement means the world to us, and together we can continue spreading positivity and encouragement.